Hello, I'm your college professor on Zoom. Just like your college professor on Zoom, I'm going to offer you knowledge. But just like a professor, you're gonna have to do some prerequisite stuff before you take my class. So if you want to install Windows 98 on your computer, hey, good luck. Make sure you enable hardware virtualization. What is that? Well, if you don't know, gonna link this article. Please follow the steps below. Basically, you just enable it in BIOS, and if you don't have this in BIOS, I would stop here. Now, let's say you've done that. Next up, we're going to want VMware Workstation Pro. This version, it's totally safe. It's just easier to install from here than the actual VMware website, which I tried for a couple hours one day. Next, Windows 98 SE, second edition. We will be typing in this code together, but I will be putting this product key in the description. Next, we're going to need a fix for the Windows 98 SE disk, and so you're going to install this boot IMA. Awesome. So we're not going to watch this video, but there are a couple of comments in here I did reference that were very helpful, and so I will be referencing when I use the comments from that video. Next, we're going to need a 256 color driver. Good news, if you followed my other Detective Barbie 2 videos, you will already have this. It's the same one we use in that. Next, we are going to need a sound blaster, the audio, to get audio on here, because you need audio for the game to run. Just install the ISO. Hi, I look like shit and I'm not at my place. You should use this website to install Detective Barbie 2. Not the one I put in the video originally. But also, if you have issues with your disk, just try another disk. Just experiment, have fun, be innovative. Secret side quest. If you want the Talk with Me Barbie, you can install this here. That's for a talking doll. If you don't know, don't worry about it. Okay, so after you've enabled virtualization and installed VMware Workstation, this is like the base of our bread. We are building everything in this program. So you're going to go here, right click, click New Virtual Machine. We're going to do Custom Installation, Hardware Compatibility 17.5x is chill. Use the disk image file, Windows 98 2nd edition. I also recommend installing all these files in the thing into one folder, just to keep everything organized. So it should automatically detect Windows 98. Hit next. Wait, what? Okay, anyway. The virtual machine name, hi YouTube. Hit next. One processor, one core is fine. Change the memory to 512 megabit. I prefer not to use a network connection. You can leave it if you want. If you want to access the internet on a Windows 98, you can if you leave a network type. Bus logic is fine. This is important. Change ID to SATA on the virtual disk type menu. This is the part that fixes an error later. So we're going to create a new virtual disk, and we're going to store the virtual disk as a single file. Leave this at 8 gigabytes. And we're going to customize hardware before we go on. We are going to select add at the bottom. We are going to add a floppy drive. We're not going to have it connected power on, but we will use a floppy image file. And it's okay if it says error, like not connected, because it just says physical drive first, so it kind of freaks out. But we're going to use the floppy image file. So if you got the fix 9.5x or whatever, IMA, it should be there. Click open, and that's all you need to do. So now we're going to finish. Hi YouTube, it powers on because we left that checked. Let's hit X on this pop-up. So to make this screen bigger, you can look along the top bar. On the very right hand side of the top, it's stretch and keep display aspect ratio. Click that, you're in. Control Alt lets your mouse escape. You will need to be doing that during this. And I took too long, so I need to restart this. But that's okay. boot from CD-ROM, start Windows 98 from CD-ROM, which is option 1. Most things you do in this tutorial, it will be default, and it's like pretty similar to Windows 95, but things are different. So we're going to hit enter to continue setup. We're going to configure unallocated. We do want to enable large disk support because, you know, our disks, they're large. So we're going to hit enter. We're going to boot from CD-ROM. We're going to start Windows 98 from CD-ROM. You can also hit enter to get past most prompts in the setup menu. So if you don't see me mouse over and I just say enter, it just selects the like continue option by default in Windows 98, but you can obviously use the mouse, but it's just sort of annoying because it is hard to control a little bit just with this older software. So we're going to continue, hit enter. So I'm just going to hit enter here instead of moving the mouse, and it works because you just hit continue. We're going to install in C Windows, preparing the directory, checking the available disk space. Typical installation, we want to install the most common components. You have to name your computer something. My computer, I'm going to name her computer wife. My work group is Mattel, and my computer description is my wife. So, hit next, hit whatever. It doesn't matter what you put for the info there, because it's on your local system, so no one's going to be looking at it, you know, presumably. And especially not the work group stuff, because, you know, when this was a real computer system people used for real work, it was oftentimes associated with business stuff. I would recommend not doing the tools in VMware. At least I wouldn't mess with those until after everything is done. And even then, I would create a clone of the system before you messed with that. I'll show you how to make a clone later on in this video. Not like a real life clone, but you know, a clone on your computer. On your fake computer. So yeah. I can't believe you want to install Windows 98. What kind of life decision have you made? That doesn't really seem very wise of you, if I'm being honest. But I mean, you're here, I guess. You're taking my course, you know, you're paying my bills. I mean, I'm not monetized on YouTube. If there are ads, I'm not getting paid for that. So, yeah. Just want to let you know. Anyways, my computer's a little bit slow, but it's also not the slowest, so I'm not really sure where you'll be in this process compared to me. The hardest part is not over. We need to pay attention a little bit because we will have a 15-second window to unmount the setup disk and mount the floppy disk. And the floppy disk icon, in case you don't know, is this little save icon looking thing. So to apply the fix, we need to do it in like the middle of the setup process. But the setup process loves to restart automatically. So yeah, we gotta be vigilant. And hey, if you miss the window, just restart making the virtual machine. You are not going to lose much progress at all. Because it's been like 4 minutes. And it'll go by faster once you get in the rhythm. Can you tell I've installed a lot of virtual machines? Okay. So it's going to tell you to register, but it's actually going to try to restart your computer. Okay, so we're going to right-click, disconnect, right-click the save icon, connect. Now the floppy disk is inserted. The floppy disk with the fix we inserted at the start of this. We're hitting restart now. And now, tap the one icon, one option, and that's it. Boot success. That's all we're looking for. Boot success. So we are going to right click again. We are going to disconnect the floppy disk. That's the last time we'll need it in this process. Right click the bottom again, connect the disk icon, and now we are going to restart guest. Right there. And everything should go smoothly. If you have any errors here, I'm sorry. I don't know. This is what I've done, and it works for me for this version for my computer. My name is Barbie. My company is Mattel, like I told you. You have to use the arrow for accepting the agreement. And hey, we're getting to the code. Yep, there's the code. I think you can copy paste in this, but I also don't know how to do that. So me and you together, I'm gonna read it aloud to you, and we can type it in together. B8MF9PBW VH G39PBW V3J3RY No. Shit. Sorry. Undo that last one. 3R3YW. Hit enter. And I said all of that right. Nothing wrong ever. So it's not going to install sound when it starts up, and it will just be the very basic color scheme. But if all of this works with no errors, we have to make a clone, because you don't want to have to do all of this again, I presume. And it's just trying to detect the hardware we set up with it. So, like, if you had, let's say, for example, a serial port plugged in for a certain brand of Barbie doll, for example, and set it up, like, with the floppy disk, it would probably be, like, installing that stuff now, along with the plug-and-play monitor and whatever. Not that I would know anything about that. Have I mentioned that this video is the soft launch for Talk With Me Barbie tutorial, too? Because it is. Talk With Me Barbie is the reason I'm making this video so speedily and so shittily, if we're all being honest. Because I finally got my doll to work the other day. By the other day, I mean literally this morning before work. I've had that doll for 2 goddamn years, haven't gotten it to work, and like I don't have a real Windows 98. I couldn't do that, and the virtual stuff I did never worked on Windows 95. And I finally got it all to work, and I'm so happy. I'm gonna help one of my friends in the Barbie server set hers up, and oh my god, she told me she had coupons for milk for me at the store. I need to go to the store and use the coupons she sent me. But genuinely, it's so cool, and now she can call me Cook. Because she has, like, literally hundreds of names, and, like, one of them is Cook, one of them's Dikla, and, like, she could say Dikla out loud to you. A Barbie doll! It's so cool. I love it. Let's restart now. Oh my god. And I recorded a video of me doing it, but I didn't have the mic settings correct, and so it's kind of bad. But I'm probably gonna, like, maybe cut it up and post it eventually. Oh my gosh, I'm just so happy. I'm so happy. I don't know if I'm the first person to do the doll with a fake Windows 98, because there's a guy who did the video in Spanish. Just hit close on the time date, unless you care about getting it correct. Again, nothing should go wrong in this step. If something goes wrong, I can try to help you, especially if you want to do the doll. I will try a lot harder to help you, I'm not gonna lie. But you can comment your issue, but also, I read YouTube comments for advice. Oh, I never told you what YouTube comments I read. The YouTube comment told me to change it from IDE to SATA, and I read a YouTube comment that suggested the fix 9X. I think I read that same comment twice and forgot about it the first time. But they recommended using it, and yeah, the fixes stuff, I presume. I actually did a test where I did the IDE, like the IDE storage type, and it had a DLL error when I didn't use SATA, which SATA is just faster storage. So I don't know if it's because this is like virtual and SATA somehow works better than the native storage solution, which IDE is the native storage solution, but like, I don't know. But SATA works for me right now, January 31st, 2025. Leave the password area blank. Don't bother typing in passwords for virtual machines. It's not worth it. What are you gonna put on here? Low bit porn? Dude, don't put a password on here. Unless you're doing Kitboga stuff, don't bother with the password, okay? That's the exception. Even Kitboga probably has a better setup. Well, definitely has a better setup. So this is extremely irritating, this window here. So what you're gonna wanna do is, at the bottom left-hand corner, uncheck show this screen every time Windows 98 starts. So here it's kind of personal preference what you can do next, but what's not personal preference is shutting this down. So let's hit shut down. We're just going to turn off the computer. So, why did we shut the computer down? We're doing it because we want to clone this. We want to keep this safe in a bubble and protect it from the shenanigans we're about to do. Especially if you want to do weird shenanigans like install Call of Duty on here. Call of Duty would never work on here. But anyways, at least not normal Call of Duty. So we want to protect this original Windows 98 you've set up from our issues. So let's right click it. Let's do manage. Let's select clone. Hit next on the clone machine wizard, the current state. We're creating a full clone because it's just completely cut off. Nothing you do to one will hurt the other. Let's name this Hi, I'm Not Real, because it's not real, except it is real. So now you can either do your testing on your not real or original. They're the same thing. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to do it on the Hi, I'm Not Real, because, I can't say goodbye to YouTube. I can't say goodbye to YouTube. I'm literally here. Okay. The hard part is over. Genuinely. The hardest part is restarting to install the fix. So, Control-Alt, we are going to go to Disk Settings, Settings. We are going to pick a new ISO image file, the 256 color. We are going to hit OK. We're going to override the lock. It's like on an old computer, just the button. It's just telling us we're hitting the button to open it up, and sometimes that would mess them up. It's not a big issue. So, you're going to right click, go to Properties, you're going to go to Settings, you're going to go to Advanced, you're going to go to a Monitor. No, not Monitor. Adapter. We're going to Adapter, we're selecting Change, we're hitting Next, we're hitting Search for a better driver, we're going to specify a location though, okay? We are going to Browse. We're not going to, just hit cancel on that. It pulls this up. Let me do this in a less janky way. Can I do this in a less janky way? I can't do this in a less janky way. Okay, so hit browse. When it freaks out and you hit cancel and it pulls up what you need to look for. So since we inserted our disk, it's right here. So hit the plus icon to pull down more menus. Hit the plus icon again, and yes, this mouse is terrible. Hit the uni folder. The uni folder has what we need. Select OK. Hit next. And wow, it found an updated driver for us on that disk. Crazy. So now hit finish, and we want to restart the computer for it to apply the changes. This will make it so your Barbie game can run in the true 16 color mode, I believe is the correct one. Talk With Me Barbie actually needs a worse color mode. I forget what exactly, but Talk With Me Barbie doesn't like the super high color modes. Anyways, so let's go to Properties. We can confirm this worked. And yep, it worked. It has these colors now. It didn't have these before. And we can also increase the screen area. Maybe I shouldn't change both of these at once, but I'm doing it. I would not recommend actually changing both of those settings at once. I would only change color or monitor size one at a time. Because on Windows 95, it did not like me when I did that. But I guess Windows 98 is better. Because so far it hasn't yelled at me. Maybe it's about to yell at me. It's loading. It sure is loading. Well, I mean, we could just check. And it's high colored, and okay, it's cool. Cool. We are also still, by the way, in this mode that stretches it. It would look like this if it wasn't stretched. So keeping that in the stretch mode is extremely useful. So Control-Alt. Now we want to install sound, because oopsie poopsie, there's no sound on here. Haha. We're going to browse. Again, look in your Windows 98 folder or wherever you downloaded stuff. Windows 98 folder or wherever you downloaded stuff. No, I'm only making like one cut in this video. Fuck you. You're getting my stuttering. Okay, so that's the sound blast. And it does blast your ears. Don't worry. Be prepared for ear blasting. We want to install it in English. Yep. Hit OK. Yeah, register. So it makes you do this. Just, you have to fill in something for everything. So just tab and hit like keys. Oh, well, oops, I didn't have to change the company. Hit enter. Again, C tab, enter to finish, and then it should start the installation automatically. And there we go. It is starting the setup. We are hitting yes, next, next. Full installation. No reason not to. I'm listening to the Persona 3 portable soundtrack, and God, it slaps so hard. I love that game. I love that game. And by love that game, I mean quite enjoy it. I like it. I think I like it more than Persona 4 Golden, actually. I think just because there's more plausibly gay stuff, and I like that you can be a girl. I'm not a girl, but I like that you can be a girl. You know, it's just very fun. So we finish to complete the setup, and so now we're not going to register. It's going to yell at you. It says has to restart to take effect, but it seems to give you sound right away. I don't know if that's loud enough for you to hear. So we're going to adjust, shit, not audio properties. We need to adjust volume. Oh my god, please. Again, you might use the VMware tools. I just know on the Windows 95 it never worked. So yeah, I'm turning this down. I might look to see how loud that is for y'all. Well, actually, last time I did that, it was pretty loud for me still. So let's make sure it did the changes. Okay, so if it doesn't do these, if it doesn't add this like icon automatically, what you can do is you can go to my computer, you can go to control panel, you can go to multimedia, and then like add it on the, yeah, show on the taskbar. So I'm actually gonna check that even though it's already there, just so it doesn't forget about it. But yeah. Actually, while you're here, not that you'll really need this for anything in this tutorial, but I wonder. Um, yeah, you should you need to show all files and yeah, show all files. You do not want there to be hidden files at all in your system. Because for disk stuff, you really want to be able to see all of that. Okay. Kind of off topic. I also think after you restart the computer, it makes you insert a certain disk, but let's make sure. Because we need to restart the computer for it to officially take effect, the soundbar stuff, which I like to restart the computer every time it requested of me, because, you know, I don't want to be mean to my Windows 98. And it didn't ask me. So the first time I installed sound on a different VM, it asked me to insert the Windows 98 setup disk on restart. Don't know why, but if that happens to you, just insert it. That's what I'd recommend. So, diverging paths. Let's do Detective Barbie 2. So again, get down here in your menu. You can also reach it like here. No, you can't reach it there. You can reach it somewhere else though. Fuck if I know. Maybe it's here. Yeah. So you right click that, go to settings. Yeah, just go there. So we browse for the ISO image. I have a lot more Barbie games, so mine is not my Windows 98 folder. It is, yeah, here. It will not, oh, yes, override the lock. I think it will auto run, yeah, because we have sound installed and we're in True Color 16-bit. It's called something like that. Anyway, it's a 16-bit that's not shitty. And this guy's singing at me. Let's see if you hear that. Yep, you certainly hear that. Yeah. Sorry about that. I'm turning that down a bit for you. So enter, enter. maximum. Well, actually, it doesn't really matter because it only changes the photos, but whatever, maximum. Just install it. It's going to install DirectX because we have not installed that ourselves yet, so it is important. We hit next. We are going to hit X on this registration because we are allowed to, and we do want to exit. Yes, please. We are going to finish, and we will restart the computer now, which is fun, exciting. It just does that on restart. The weird C menu. I don't hit anything. It just goes away on its own. And wow, Detective Barbie 2. It's so crazy. So the game does have to be inserted for it to work because like most old games are like that. So make sure the disc is still mounted. Double click the icon and it all should be hunky-dory. Just hunky-dory la-di-doo-da-day, you know. Well, that's the racist movie. Shit. What should my name be, chat? I'm Henry. My Barbie doll says that name aloud to me if I want her to, because I got the program set up today. Oh my god. I could be Henry, IRL. Yo. I wonder if K's in there. I think it is. I forget. And it's such a simple name, surely it would be in there. Zuko's not in there, I know. Crazy. So, if you're wondering why I'm playing this game right now, I am checking to make sure this game does not crash at the maze. Because there are a couple issues running this on newer OSs. One of them is like the weird error where you have to like launch from the exe every time. One of them is just that it crashes on the maze. Like everything else works fine, but just the maze part crashes. That's primarily the issue on Windows XP. So I just like doing this test every time to prove, hey, it's working, it's not crashing in the maze part. Because it doesn't matter, like, if you have a goal in the maze or not, like, it's just that area of the game is, like, too intense, or just, like, gets really confused by it. You know, Barbie gets lost in the files in the maze, you know, she can't quite parse it. So yeah, that's all I'm testing. This game is just really slow and boring, so it just takes a little bit to get there. I mean, at least it lets you escape the tutorial area. That's what that was, by the way. It wanted me to go to the bookshelf and open up a secret door, but we're not doing that. You could speedrun dying in this game, I bet, quickly. Maybe? Can he even die? Like, Anyways, wow, maze. It works. I'm going to pause here, but then if you're here for the secret Talk With Me Barbie doll, how to set that up, stick around. Stick around. Okay, hi. So step one of this, just for proof, this is my doll. She's there, and...
Aveline, let's make a shopping list before we go. Aveline, the store is having a sale on bananas.
And you're not going to hear her talk when I put her up here, but you can see her mouth move, maybe?
Should we pay for the groceries with a credit card or cash?
So her microphone is in her stomach. Also, she asked me if I wanted to pay card or cash. That's kind of hilarious. So, yeah, I set her up with the grocery store trip in her data. No custom talk, just... Because I did custom talk the first time, and I didn't hear the actual story stuff, so I wanted to hear the story stuff. And I think, like, I watched the one video that's in English of the guy who did this, and, like, apparently it's a little bit glitched out. But I got this to work. So, step one is to buy something like this. I can link where I got this on Amazon. You can find better ones. I use a USB-A port on the end. And then it's like, it doesn't screw in properly. Like, they both have screws. So it doesn't stick. This is, if you're curious, the Barbie. The Barbie is the female port. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has 9 holes. That's a lot of holes. It has 9 holes, so you need to find one with 9 holes. It's a serial port. But there are different sizes of serial port, which I learned, and after being very meticulous in checking. But yeah, also, if you get one like this one lights up, and when it started working, it actually lit up green. You also need to make sure it can transfer data, like, both ways, because Barbie, I think, has to send stuff to the computer. I'm not 100% certain about that. It for sure has to be able to receive data on this end. But yeah. So we're here again on this menu. So the second secret thing we need to do is we need to go to device manager on our host machine. Our big host machine, not just our fucking fake host machine. Okay, so we're going to plug in our USB-A port. I'm going to unplug my mouse, even though that will be torture. Oh my god. But whatever. You could also just use like a USB hub for other stuff. So you noticed something changed on there. Barbie, you're moving for a bit. Ports, COM, and LPC were added. I actually edited this setting myself. In Oracle, when I tried to set this up before, it liked COM ports 1 through 4. So I like having the COM port be 1 through 4 on the host device also. Don't know if it makes a difference. But I'm pretty sure I just like... What did I even do? Did I do advanced? I did advanced. I just changed the COM port number. So that's all you gotta do. I'm also minimizing that because I keep looking at myself on the other monitor. So yeah, make sure it's reading as a COM port. If it's not reading as a COM port, I have no idea how to help you. I was only able to get this to work Oracle, I was so confused by the COM port thing. I could not figure it out for the life of me. And with Windows 95 and VMware, that was a whole other mess, which is crazy. But I couldn't get to work in Windows 95. But Windows 98, this works really well. So, the COM port, we know it's there. It's there in settings. But if we edit the virtual machine settings and try to add a serial port, it's probably not going to detect it. Yeah, it's doing dog and shit. So we're going to close out of that, and then we're going to reopen it. And it should detect it now, because you just have to restart it. So go to your machine, edit the settings. So back to serial port. Use a physical serial port, which is important. COM3. You can do this other stuff, but again, this confused the hell out of me. I'm so sorry, I cannot help you with that. So now we're going to power on the virtual machine. Also, you also need to have the Talk With Me Barbie disk. I know I said that at the beginning of the video, but like you do need to have that. And see, it's scanning for unknown device and locating the software for it. And then, see, it wants the Windows 2nd Edition disk because it's like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? What an unusual view. Go to wherever that is for you. Just pop that puppy back in. Pop that hot pocket in your mouth. And that's all. So now you can go back to the disk. You're going to want to browse. You're going to want to find the installer. Cool. There are lots of Barbie games. Override the lock. Should just start automatically. Might yell at me about the display resolution. Next. The doll's computer is properly connected to COM1. If your setup does not say that, that's end of sentence. You can try messing with stuff, but the only time I've gotten this to work is the only time it has ever in my life said that on the setup screen. So we're just gonna leave it at COM1. We're not gonna mess with it. We're not even gonna mess with it. We're going to install direct sound. Can we skip that? Next. I'm gonna skip that. Next. Restart the computer now. Maybe you have to install their version of sound. Maybe because it's like worse. Maybe it's not compatible with the newer version. I don't know. So let's get going with this. I will try to be close to the Barbie doll over here. I'll try to make sure you can hear her a little bit, at least. I'll be like this. Hi, Barbie. Oh my god, it's like for a fucking podcast. Except I don't care about her personal space. Okay, so I'll be like that if I think she's talking. When she does talk. Oh my gosh, I really don't want... Remind me later. So, we need to press and hold this. Okay. Well, she says I'm ready to sit at my computer. How about test Barbie?
Let's get started.
Alright, so I'm gonna show you again what's happening.
Let's get started.
The green is a really good sign, so I'd highly recommend one that has LED lights in it, a cord, you know, a connector, because you really need that. Especially like if you got yours. This was out of the box when I got it, so like I really had no idea if she even worked at all. I guess I could have been like failing this whole time and not never knowing if it was just a faulty cord. You know what I mean? So we're doing done with this, and now you can just set stuff up. So I will say there is some finicky stuff. The only time she reads names aloud is when she's in like new setup mode. So if you have like a profile on here, I'll show you. She's not gonna say random names out loud again until you hold the button on her back. And so you don't reset her. Your data's still there, but she's like on a new profile. So we're going to look up K, I guess. Yeah, there we go. And so let's play our name. Our name, my name. There we go. The custom name thing, you can't just type it in. It's a certain file type. I have no idea how to get access to that. My eyes are hazel. And my hair color is blue. It's brown. Yes, one. Yeah, we were born the same day, twin brothers. No sisters. So you're giving her your personal data, which is really fun. Just do your name. So when you do custom talk, it probably does break things. So I don't want to do that in this thing, because me and you, we're just going on a journey, doing a mission. All right, and then we will mess around with stuff, and I'll show you what my doll does. So let's talk about dating. I'm gonna stay here because she talks randomly in this process. It's kind of free. The first time, I was like, oh my god. Yeah, let's go to a theme park on a day. Let's see if they fucking puke.
That's my favorite.
I love puking too. We're gonna drive a car. Oh my god. Why is it not pink? So lame.
That's my favorite.
Refrigerator magnets. Gay refrigerator magnets. Well, money. Duh. Why is there no sunscreen? We're going to a theme park. Brother. My car keys. I need that to even get in my car. I guess a brush, or maybe a comb when my hair gets messy getting off the ride. Okay, so now this is the sort of data set she's working from. She's gonna reference these things randomly, intermittently. You can't control it. And then this is while it's loading. And then there's this. So yeah, I don't know. It works. It just works. And then I will like slide away from the computer a little bit to prove it's working. So the thing that makes her work is the necklace on her thing. It's like a remote control. It's like an IR scanner, I presume. It's like getting data. I don't know how it works, which is so lame because this came out in 1997 and I really don't know how it works. But like it's so cool. So now we could take Barbie anywhere. So by take her anywhere, let's take her here. She's not facing anything anymore. This is the necklace I meant. She's not in her default outfit, obviously, if you couldn't tell. She just recently got shoes. Like 2 weeks ago she got shoes. So alright, so we were talking about going on a day theme park, gay, vomiting.
Hey, I'm glad I brought a comb. It's fun to go to the theme park in the evening. We can watch the fireworks. I like riding in the car with my date. Hey, do you think I should bring a sweater?
Oh my god, you're literally wearing a sweater, babe. Oh my god, you don't need a sweater. You're already so cute. You don't. I don't know. We could all use an extra sweater. Oh my god. Anyway, it works so well. That's the basic tutorial.